Along the rainy streets in Atlanta, Georgia, police cruisers attempt to recover a wayward mutant, Clarice Fong, Blink, to their custody. The scared young woman races to a dark alley and immediately uses her unique ability to create a portal to escape. Meanwhile, a group of mutant outcasts living in an underground network is nearby searching for her, including Polaris, Lorna Dane, and her boyfriend Eclipse, Marcos Diaz, and Thunderbird, John Proudstar. They locate her teleporting in an office of a clothing warehouse and proceed with caution. Though initially apprehensive, Blink is convinced to accept their help to go someplace safe, having witnessed their mutant powers. Suddenly, police cruisers surround the building, forcing the mutants to find a way to escape without getting caught. Polaris peeks through the window and uses her powers of magnetism to smash the vehicles while Eclipse blinds the officers with his light beams. The group then rushes to an unmanned vehicle, but a cop shoots Marcos in the back, angering Lorna to the point where she retaliates with brute force. Unfortunately, she is incapacitated with one of the policemen's tasers and cuffed, much to the group's despair, as they continue to flee the scene without her. Elsewhere, in Bellevue High School, parents Reed and Caitlin Strucker attend a meeting arranged by the guidance counselor concerning their son Andy's bullying problem. Using his power as a district attorney, Reed threatens a lawsuit if the school does not alleviate his concerns. While the counselor steps away to alert the school administrator, he receives a message about the recent capture of Polaris and excuses himself to meet with her at the mutant wing of Garland Detention Center. Once there, he bravely enters the holding cell alone to present the young female mutant with an offer to reduce her sentence to a murder case in exchange for information about the secret mutant conclave. Though she denies the accusations against her, Reed compels her to cooperate with a document revealing her pregnancy. He leaves as Polaris screams angrily, violently lashing out with her powers. Later at night, Andy, feeling out of place in school, pleads with his sister, Lauren, to join her at their dance social, despite his difficulty gaining friends. Once there, Lauren hangs out with her boyfriend, leaving him to sulk in the bleachers while struggling to find a dance partner. Unfortunately, the bullies see him and forcibly take him to shower inside a locker room as they insult him. Suddenly, while he screams in agony, he causes the whole building to collapse as some objects bend and break with his latent magnetic powers. Sensing the danger, Lauren rushes to find her brother while conjuring shields to protect herself and other schoolmates from falling debris, much to the surprise of the bullies. She finds Andy calming him down as they flee from school. Meanwhile, at the underground mutant headquarters, Clarice is welcomed to stay by Mutant Sage as she learns to adjust to their community. In the next room, an anxious Marcus argues with John to rescue Lorna, but the latter hesitates, believing he will risk exposing their kind if caught. Elsewhere, at the Struckers' residence, a terrified Andy explains he caused the incident at the dance, losing control of his powers when he becomes stressed. Lauren reveals that both she and Andy had developed mutant abilities long before, referencing a time when she saved them from getting hit by a passing car 3 years ago. Fearing that any mutant that uses their powers is apprehended and brought to detention centers by people like her father, she hid the truth from her mom. Suddenly, a team of agents from Sentinel Services, led by Agent Jace Turner, appears at their front door to apprehend the Strucker children due to the incident at Bellevue High. When they force themselves inside, the children use their powers to defend their mother and buy time to escape the house through the garage. Caitlin hurriedly floors the gas pedal of their car, and the family drives away as fast as possible, successfully evading the agents. Stopping at a gas station, Caitlin immediately calls Reed to inform him about the situation while revealing their children are mutants. The next morning, he reunites with his family in a diner outside the Atlanta city limits, though Reed is still coming to terms with the revelation. He suggests they move to Mexico to evade Sentinel Services. Meanwhile, at his law office, Agent Jace and his team unearth Reed's records to investigate the Strucker family's history and possible association with mutants, much to the concern of colleague Carla Jackson. Outside the building, Reed secretly calls her to plead for help in retrieving the case file about the mutant network investigation. Elsewhere, at the Caravan Motel, north of Atlanta, the Strucker siblings talk about their abilities, with Lauren offering to guide Andy in controlling them. They stop at a vending machine, where Lauren pulls a popcorn snack out of the vending machine with her power. Unfortunately, as Andy does the same thing, he recalls the torment he experienced from the bullies, making him lose control and destroy the vending machine, prompting the pair to hurriedly leave the area. At the mutant headquarters, Clarice sincerely thanks Marcus for saving her life at the expense of Lorna's capture. While cutting through a brick to prepare for the rescue mission, he explains that their underground network started with the passing of the anti-mutant law just before the X-Men disappeared, with John and Lorna finding and recruiting him soon after. He then asks her for help using her powers, but Clarice demonstrates with a chew toy that opening a portal to a destination she does not know will be dangerous. Suddenly, Marcus is contacted by Reed, who reveals his involvement with mutant affairs and offers to give him information about Lorna's incarceration in return for helping his family to cross the border of Mexico. He agrees, though shocked at the revelation that Lorna is pregnant. The following morning, Reed discusses his plan with his wife, who is worried something might go wrong. Just then, a sentinel drone appears, searching the perimeter for the mutant children. This prompts the family to abruptly leave the motel, with Lauren using her shield ability to steal a pickup truck. Later, at Tex's lounge, Reed meets with Marcus, and the two discuss the terms of their agreement. The latter writes down an address where they can meet up at night to avoid detection by the authorities. Elsewhere, after Clarice fixes the broken chew toy, she breaks her silence, confessing about Marcus' mysterious meeting with Reed to John, who instantly becomes anxious. Fearing the worst, he asks her to come with him in search of Marcus. That night, the Strucker family drives to the location on the note, which is an industrial plant. A dubious Caitlin protests about their chances of survival, but Marcus assures her that their mutant sanctuary will tend to their every need while they wait to get across the border with new identities. Suddenly, Sentinel Services agents surround the area, with Agent Jace ordering the group's surrender and denying Reed's demand for an attorney to negotiate. John and Clarice appear and lead the group to safety, prompting Agent Jace to initiate the Sentinel Spider drones to hunt them down. One of the drones grabs John's leg but is saved by Marcus. Eventually, the robots corner the group, but Lauren keeps them away with her shield. With no other option, Clarice concentrates all her energy on opening a portal to the mutant headquarters. As they climb inside, Reed stumbles after getting shot in the back, leaving him behind as the portal closes. Flashing back exactly 1 year ago, the Strucker family is enjoying a night of bowling at the arena when Lauren notices a young female mutant and her father getting harassed by teenagers. The girl becomes emotional and disrupts the area with psychic energy witnessed by everyone. To avoid a potential arrest, Reed pleads with the father to walk away from the incident for the sake of her daughter. Returning to the present, Clarice becomes gravely ill and slowly loses consciousness after summoning her ability. Though understanding the fear of the Strucker family leaving Reed behind, John and Marcus ask them to be patient while they struggle to revive Claire. At the industrial plant, Agent Jace orders his team to search the area for the family and for the underground mutant sanctuary. He approaches a paralyzed Reed on the stretcher, asking him to recover and prepare for interrogation soon after. In the mutant detention facility, Polaris tries to use her power to leave her cell, only to get electrocuted by her shock collar, much to the delight of the other inmates. Meanwhile, John, Marcus, and fellow mutant, Dreamer, argue about the events that transpired at the plant, with the former criticizing Marcus for keeping him in the dark about his plan to rescue Lorna. Suddenly, Caitlin, who is a nurse, diagnoses Clarice's condition, showing that she is suffering from respiratory distress as she convulses rapidly. With no immediate medical practitioner to turn to, she reluctantly volunteers to help but stresses out the need to rush her to a nearby hospital because of her vague symptoms and lack of control over her powers. Suddenly, a portal opens to an unknown road, prompting everyone to take cover as the rear part of a truck crashes into the base after getting severed apart. Though Caitlin is struck in the head, she continues to diagnose Claire's symptoms as they bring her to a table. Another portal opens, revealing the wreckage on the road and armed countryfolk ready to retaliate. A quick-thinking Lauren collapses the air molecules with her shield to seal the rogue portal shut. Marcus suggests going to a nearby hospital to acquire hydrocortisone while Lauren stands guard to close any portal that Claire accidentally conjures. Meanwhile, at the detention center, Reed is questioned by Agent Jace about the location of his family and the mutants. The district attorney demands his own legal counsel, noticing the agent is not following protocol and denying his rights. Simultaneously, Marcus and Caitlin discuss the ethical dilemma of their agreement to deport out of the country in exchange for Lorna's freedom, with the pair learning to trust each other. The following day, Lorna faces discrimination from her fellow inmates at the prison, though she is surprised to see another mutant also incarcerated. During shower time, they notice her wash away her dark hair dye, revealing a greenish hue underneath. Meanwhile, another portal to the rural road opens at the mutant headquarters, showing the area surrounded by local police. As Lauren struggles to close it, John amplifies his listening ability and discovers the officers request immediate backup from the SWAT team, prompting him to leave and warn Dreamer. The Strucker siblings talk amongst each other as Andy comes to terms with their powers. Simultaneously, Marcus and Caitlin arrive at the hospital, though it is flooded with patients in the emergency room. Using Marcus' wound, they ask the head nurse to immediately escalate their concern to see a doctor. After getting his arm stapled, the attending physician notices Caitlin's wounds and misdiagnoses the situation as domestic violence, but she assures him she is safe. She secretly grabs one of the scrub suits when he leaves and heads to the medical supply room. Later, in the interrogation room, Reed reads the charges implicating him with Polaris and her links to mutant terrorism after milking the information from his co-worker, Carla. Agent Jace reveals his disdain for mutants after his late daughter, Grace, died due to a July 15th major incident involving mutants. At the prison lunch area, Polaris introduces herself to the porcelain-skinned mutant, hoping to ally with her, only to be denied out of fear of getting into trouble. Meanwhile, Caitlin distracts the nurse at the station and bags all the medication in the freezer. However, she discovers the attending physician communicating with police officers about the situation, prompting the pair to leave through the back exit. To ward off the officers, Marcus melts the door handle with his light beams. Later at the prison courtyard, Lorna meets Scar, who treats the mutant inmates as her servants. When she refuses to listen and walks away, the inmates beat her up. Though the collar impedes her abilities, Lorna fights through the electrocution to attack Scar by throwing a metal table that pushes her to the fence. However, her actions prompt security personnel to send her to solitary confinement. At the mutant headquarters, Claire struggles to control her powers while feeling constant pain. John suggests evacuating all the mutants, but Dreamer refuses to abandon their sanctuary. Another portal opens, revealing the SWAT team arriving at the scene on the rural road. Lauren tries to close it but fails, leading John to assault one of the armed officers who try to enter. After Andy knocks back the rest of the police with his abilities, Claire falls from the table and starts summoning more portals uncontrollably. John orders everyone to leave while he stays behind to keep watch while waiting for Marcus and Caitlin. Later, Agent Jace brings Reed to the other side of the interrogation room, where the district attorney sees his mother being questioned by one of the agents. He promises to cease the harassment if Reed gives up the location of the mutants' underground hideout. Simultaneously, Caitlin wonders about the treatment of mutants at the hospital, believing they are left without exercising their civil rights. Marcus reveals his troubled past, talking about his parents abandoning him because of being a mutant. They arrive at the gate to the mutant headquarters when they see that everyone has evacuated due to Claire's portals spawning all over the area. After reuniting with her kids, Caitlin leaves them with Marcus and rushes inside to administer the proper medication. Seeing a portal leading to the upper level, she jumps through it and reaches John. With only seconds left before the entire establishment collapses, she injects Claire with a shot of potassium, followed by a moderate dose of hydrocortisone, successfully resuscitating her and ending her torment. Shortly after, Claire apologizes to John for causing so much destruction in the sanctuary. He asks why her portals keep opening on the same rural road, but she remarks that she has no idea about it. Caitlin talks to the siblings, reassuring them of finding their father by fighting back. Meanwhile, Reed reluctantly agrees to reveal the whereabouts of the mutants on the condition that he and his family are set free, despite the criminal charges against them. Elsewhere, at an undisclosed facility, Dr. Roderick Campbell, a scientist studying mutant genetics, asks his colleague to research information concerning the mutant sibling. A newspaper clipping from the 1960s is revealed, showing a similar incident in Rio de Janeiro about a mutant attack. He requests to get in touch with the lead Sentinel Services agent on the Struckers case, believing he has discovered a crucial correlation to their predicament.